Hey there, TJ Dunzer here, Senior News Editor for Shacknews.com, coming at you with another gameplay preview. This time, we're talking about Cronos, The New Dawn, which is a new original sci-fi horror IP from Bloober Team. They are so proud of this one, they brought us out to Krakow, Poland itself to see a early build of this game, and we got to give it a try. Bloober Team, man, they've been on a roll. I've always been a fan, played Layers of Fear, I played Layers of Fear 2, I was a big fan of Silent Hill 2 Remake last year, and I was happy to see them kind of get their flowers for skills I've known they've had for years. And they're taking those skills to a interesting new idea that is very Polish, like, so much so that the place that they brought us for the preview was set in an old steelworks building that is a environment actually in the game. So this game takes place in a future that has been ravaged by a catastrophic event known as the Change. To stop it, this group known as the Collective sends these explorers back in time to try to collect key people, or at least the ghosts of those key people, that would have helped us stop this thing from happening and can maybe save the future. And to that end, you play the character that goes back in time, and you head back to a 1980s Poland, where you find all sorts of time distortion and creatures that are a bit interesting and unique. So, one of the main premises of this game is that you will run into monsters, like humanoid, grotesque monsters that were distorted by this catastrophic event.
Scary beyond all reason.
And on their own, they just look grotesque, but if you kill one and leave it and another shows up, it will devour the dead one and take it into itself and become a stronger, more resilient, more terrifying creature. And to that end, you have a burn mechanism that is used to burn corpses, and you need to burn corpses in order to keep them from merging, or fight them off and keep them away from each other. And that makes a very tense combat situation when you're in this game. The world that we got to see, like, we wandered through apartment buildings and factories and streets of, like, this broken town. It was interesting to see because, like, there's all sorts of papers and story and narrative and environmental storytelling of people that were just, like, ravaged by this horrible thing that was happening in real time. Like, people talking about staying inside, being paranoid of each other, the government imposing, like, curfews and strict sanctions. All of it just serves to make this bleak and frightening environment that is interesting to explore. And it's exciting and rewarding to explore too, because, like, as you travel through it, you gain these abilities that can sort of move platforms around and change the environment to certain points in time that it was at. Like, if you see an area where there was clearly a bridge, you might see rocks that are floating in the air above it, and you can use your ability to pull those rocks downward into a bridge that was there before, or move them into another place. And paying attention to the environment ends up being looks like it's going to end up being rewarding in this game. There was a point at which I found bolt cutters, which was interesting because I saw chains on a door much earlier in the demo, where it would have been completely optional to go back, but I did end up going back because I remembered that, and I found all sorts of gear in there. And of course, the bolt cutters are for something that you actually have to do as well, but exploring and keeping track of your surroundings and remembering things will serve your needs. And you need to keep an eye out for stuff like that, because resources are scarce in this game. Which isn't to say that combat isn't fun. You get, like, this pistol to start off, which is just a normal energy pistol, but you can charge it up and do a more powerful shot. And first off, it's satisfying to fire on its own, but the charge shot is real fun and will, like, stagger enemies and give you the space if you have the time to charge it up. And then you end up getting modules that change that same gun into different forms. Like, I ended up getting a shotgun module, and boy howdy, that shotgun felt real good. You can charge that just as you can charge the pistol. And man, you do a regular shotgun shot, it's pretty strong, but you do a charged one and it just brutalizes everything on the other end. Not to say that the enemies aren't scary as well. Like I said, that feature where they meld into each other, it's dangerous, and a fight can quickly get out of hand if you're not paying attention to where the enemies are and where the corpses are and trying to keep them very far apart at all times. I saw some cool stuff, like upgrade stuff. You're going to be able to upgrade your weapons, like upgrade things like the capacity for ammo in your guns, how fast it takes them to charge, damage, of course. You're going to be able to upgrade your suit. You have item slots that you need to upgrade. And man, those ended up being super important. I feel like that's going to be like the one you want to do earliest. But you'll have your option to play the way you want and upgrade the way you want. Being an over-the-shoulder game like Silent Hill 2 Remake was, it feels like Bloober Team took some ideas back from Silent Hill 2 Remake to refine their approach to horror gaming and create a very interesting action horror sci-fi concept. There's still a lot we need to see out of this game. There's a mechanism where you find the essence of people that were supposed to survive and take them into yourself, and it helps with your mission, but also those voices haunt your suit and cause like visual disturbances and whisper in your ears. This is going to be a fun game to play with earphones, I feel. I'm interested to see how that goes, because it was very much implied that some of those ghosts you can leave behind and some you can take with you, and the more you take with you, the more difficult the journey will be. So I'm very interested to see what that ends up looking like. We're going to see more of this game. It's set to launch sometime in 2025. But for what we got, I'm very excited to see what this ends up being and how it ends up going. For more, be sure to check out the Bloober Team social media. Be sure to check out Cronos on social media and its website. And, of course, stay tuned to Shacknews for what's next. You can find us at shacknews.com. Check us out on YouTube and our socials. And until next time, this is TJ Dunser, Senior News Editor for Shacknews. Take care, y'all.